Chat, can you hear me? We haven't started yet, but I don't see me in the little previews. Hang on. Do you see video or sound? Cause I don't know. I'm streaming. I'm live. What do I see on my phone?
Check.
Oh, I see it. That was me. Okay, pretend you didn't hear me. It's fixed now, but pretend. Okay, you can't hear me. I was never here. We've still got a minute. Good morning, Vietnam! Wow, we've come full circle. I burst out of nowhere. I was never here. Oh, hang on. I should start the recording. Start the recording. Good morning! Hello, everyone. And welcome to Star Trek Picard Season 2, Episode 5, Fly Me to the Moon, Watch Along. I should really put these titles on the thumbnail. But no, I have all of them memorized. Definitely, 100%. Welcome. All the returning viewers, welcome. Anyone new who may be joining us can hear and see. Great. Is that how long of an input delay I have? Like 3 minutes? Because I asked that question about 3 minutes ago. Oh, or maybe you read chat. There we go. But yeah, I was weird. On my little preview I got on YouTube Studio, I was streaming and I hit live, but it was just a black screen. That never happened before, but I've fixed it. I can now see what you see. But yeah, if you don't know what's going on, you read chat and stopped away. Okay, good. If you don't know what's going on, go get a copy of Star Trek Picard Season 2, Episode 5, Fly Me to the Moon. Paramount Plus link in the description. I mean, I have the instructions on screen. I'm gonna wait for everyone to get that playing. Get through any ads, whatever, and then we'll do our countdown. Yeah, I hope everyone's had a good day. I went to get groceries after work, which I planned on doing. That's why we're starting at 5 today. And then I was like, you know what? I got time. I got time to go, like, get some food before I head home. And so I did. And then I was an idiot when I left the parking lot and basically forced myself onto the wrong lane, which was the exit to the freeway. So I probably added about, 15-20 minutes to my commute home. It was a bit hectic, but we're here. I've eaten. I have. Oh, I forgot. I got Panda. I got the Beyond Orange Chicken, vegan, very nice. But that means we have this fortune cookie. That part of it just fell on the floor. I was like, wouldn't it be... Oh, that fell... I'm not going to eat that bit. But I was like, wouldn't it be fun to read how is this stream going to go, fortune cookie? Don't forget to say, I love you. Okay. The next random person to show up, anyone who shows up in chat today, say that you love them. I was talking with my partner once. Like, what if fortune cookies were real, right? Like, you'd actually get it. It was, like, actually a fortune. And I was like, but then there's the dark, time for you're at the drive-thru, whatever. You're like, oh, yes, I get, like, I don't know, whatever. And then the fortune cookie, and like, oh, yes. And, 2 minutes later, whatever. Like, the employee goes to the machine to get the fortune. And then, like, 2 minutes later, they come to the window. They're, like, kind of shaking. It's like, I don't know how to say this. I'm sorry, but I hit the button and the fortune didn't come out. I'm sorry, you have no future. It's soon. It's gonna happen soon. You're gonna die. And then, like 2 days later, I got like Panda, and I had a fortune cookie, and there wasn't a fortune in it. And so I was like, oh no, Alex, my time is near. But I've gotten fortunes again, so thankfully I've averted my own destruction. I don't know how it happened, but we're safe now. Now's the time where I'm gonna die on this stream. I'm gonna stop at some point, dead. Now that I've said that. But yeah, Bengenium, nice to have you here. No Alex yet. I thought I heard them get in a little bit ago, but they're not home from work yet. I'm sure they'll join us, walk in the middle of this. No Ukrainian Scrimshaw so far, but I think let's just get going, because I do have a Lego set I would like to build. The Downtown Diner, one of the newer modular buildings, but it's a few years old now. The last one that I can actually fit on my town display. It's going to be... From now on, I'll still buy them, but I won't get to build them. At least not for a little bit. But now for the YouTube video, which if you're binging these, this part's probably getting pretty dull. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. We're going to all click play on go for Season 2, Episode 5 of Star Trek Picard. And... I think that's all the instructions. Oh, I'm going to stream a little bit of audio at the start. Let me get that set up. Just for everyone to sync, but then it is just going to be my commentary. So, 5, 4, 3... Okay, let's do this consistently. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh shit. Okay, everyone, sorry. Okay, back. Beep, beep, beep. I misclicked. Okay, reset. Go back to 0. We'll get there. Everyone, get ready. You've stopped it. You've rewound your counter to 0. Adjust my mouse onto the play button. Look, if anyone was gonna do that, at least it was me, because now there's not like an audience member scrambling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, click. There we go, I got it this time. And it is playing, a CBS Studios production. Come on, audio. There we go. Oh.
Previously
Why?
on Star Trek Picard.
Okay, let's restart that again. I think I know what's happened, because, yes, my playback speed was at like 75%. Welcome home, Alex. We're absolutely failing to start the watch through. So, apparently, the buttons I usually have to fade my thumbnail in and out on OBS are the playback speed options for VLC Media. Okay, 5-second countdown. Are we ready? For real this time. It is, yes, playback speed 100. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I forgot as well, I was gonna say I love you instead of go, because that's what the fortune cookie said, and it would have been funny for the
Star Trek Picard
video who didn't get that context, but then I forgot, or I missed.
No. Stay.
What do you want?
I've got my dog.
Chorus of thoughts to drown the gnawing
Oh
silence.
shoot, you can't
But from
see
you,
There we
I'll
go.
settle for your ship. Poor Agnes Girardi, left behind again.
Alex
You
is
felt
being
it too,
distracting, but it's the
didn't you?
previous Leon. We don't care about these.
And you've impressed
comment.
me.
Laris,
I can't even
last
eat my
night,
fortune cookie
I
either.
was-
You hear me.
nothing has to change.
It's too late for that, Jean-Luc.
Oh yeah, I remember
lost
episode
someone. We're
5
getting him back.
being
And
like mostly
losing
set up
him
for
was
episode
not your
6.
fault.
So
What I want is to try to figure out how to fix the timeline.
we'll see how it
You want
goes.
immigration and customs enforcement.
I don't. It kind of like episode
don't get
2 was it?
crystal ball
3?
before he's
Episode 3.
transferred.
I don't remember it being
No
the
paper
most
trail.
interesting.
Adios, Captain. I was given
Oh
coordinates.
shoot! I should
to this-
stop. I should stop streaming that audio. Whoops. At least it was the previously on. I probably won't get caught for that. God, this one's a bit of a mess, isn't it? This is what happens when Ukrainian Scrimshaw isn't here. apparently. And I think, yes, that's misaligned. God dang it. Annoyingly, I think my box to put the play bar on screen is like a pixel too tall. So it makes it even harder to line up. Oh yeah, this is one of those scenes they have in shows or movies where like I'm just like, oh look, it's a simulation. Right, instantly. Someone should make like a show or movie that has a cold open. It's just like a space disaster, but it actually happens. Everyone dies. It's completely unrelated to the plot, just to subvert expectations. Oh yeah, this was just something weird about Picard as well, wasn't it? That like everyone has an identical ancestor from like 400 years ago. Okay, that's like 300, I think. But even the like the Romulan and stuff, the android. And Soong. Yeah, Dr. Soong. But, you know, that's Brent Spiner. At this point, that's tradition. But it's still, you know, kind of ridiculous. I get he wants Laris to recognize him, but I like that from her perspective. It's like, I don't like time travelers, but my name is Jean-Luc Picard. He's like, oh, I love French time travelers. Benjenium, I think they'd all signed contracts, but then the show pivoted, so they had to come up with all new rules for them. That wouldn't surprise me, but it was always going to be a 3-season show, so why did they sign 2-season contracts? That just seems a bit weird. And then there's Elnor, who's, like, not really here. Do we actually know that they've pivoted as well? Because the story with Picard was always it was going to be 3 seasons, and Patrick Stewart was going to do a very specific 3-season arc, or he wouldn't come back. And I've never heard anyone in charge of the show actually said that they've deviated from that plan. But God, I don't know the connection between seasons 1 and 2. It doesn't help in Soji's case, though, that, as I've said before, she's playing the exact same character she did in Season 1. Like a not normal human, not normal life form, really, who didn't know it and is discovering this fact. Like, it's just the same character. I get why she left in Season 3. It's like, okay, I don't want to do that again. Commit! Stop pulling on the microphone. Oh, gosh. Hey, it's okay. My dog got caught in the microphone cable. Sorry about that. Best part of the theme song. Yes, I'm eating my fortune cookies. Oh, hi, Comet. No, Comet, don't. Oh, Comet's eating my fortune cookie, too. Was that... Ooh, is the Borg... Oh, no, it's an hourglass. But when I looked up at the Borg Queen's hourglass, it looked like some sort of transparent robot-y face or something. Like, I don't know, maybe it's, oh, God, Agnes. That'd be poetic. Or maybe I'm just seeing things. I love humans, always seeing patterns and things that aren't there. Ukrainian Scrimshaw would have liked that one.
Good boy.
I can't decide if I want to complain she's not interfaced with the communicator, or if, of course, she's not interfaced with the communicator. It's a good thing that this is still the Picard vineyard and not like, you know, old Nazi HQ. It's believable, but, you know, I'm here to make jokes. You literally just did... I mean, I guess it's still good to try and avoid it. You know, if people want to complain about Seven's character, I'll actually say this season, like, she's a lot more externally emotional than Seven, which of course from Voyager 7, which makes sense. But, like, she's arguably the most Starfleet person in this group, like, trying to hold together the timeline and being the voice of reason. Like, she's got that dark past, those, like, horrible stuff between Voyager and Picard. But, I mean, in these extreme situations, like, I could definitely see her donning, a Federation uniform. In Season 3, that is, you know. Also, this would be... Can I do a poll? There's, like, only one active person in the chat, but, what do you think would be more damaging to the timeline? Beaming him out in front of a dozen witnesses, or freeing a dozen illegal immigrants that were in the process of being deported? But again, it doesn't even matter anyway, because, you know, if Time Zero never happened, that means this isn't actually the time zone, or the timeline that, is the prime timeline? It doesn't make... I get what Ukrainian Scrimshaw was saying the other day, about untangling the plot. I'm fine with the bootstrap paradoxes, I'm fine with the timelines changing. What's weird is that any changes here would break the future, and that any fixes would fix the future. It's complicated. Oh. Freeing everyone would wildly change things, whereas beaming out wouldn't be believable. Like, it would also... You probably turned a dozen people into, like, crazy conspiracy theorists, or, like, traumatize them for life. Like, that neither is good. But yeah, it's going back to what I was saying yesterday with the chat Picard's gonna have with Renee. You could have had this season be about, like, tiny little moments and, like, quote unquote insignificant people, like, changing the world, and that's what's bringing about utopia. These little things like that are further, like, actively going against this plot line that they didn't take, that they should have. Where, like, you know, beaming out in front of those cops, you know, changing, you know, there are, like, a dozen people who were deported or now aren't, would, like, have, especially over centuries, drastic changes over the timeline. Or even if they don't, like, historically, they don't change anything, which is probably true, 2 years from World War III. Like, the individuals who are living in the future in Picard's time, and, everything in between, wouldn't be the same. And that's, like, an exponentially diverging thing. And if you're not protecting the individuals in your prime timeline, then what's the point? I won't pretend that this is unique to Picard. All the time travel ones have stuff like this, but, oh, I get to do my little rant here. I'll give the stuff around this credit, where, again, what I was saying yesterday, about Star Trek struggling to do representation of mental health and disability in a future where they don't exist. Everything around this is, this is a good way to do it. Go to the past where, like, it's horrible. And yeah, like, I believe that Renee would be having all this stuff. Oh, hang on, here's the bit. And there we go, just that look, that raised eyebrows. Here we have Picard, the, like, dictionary definition of moral conviction and self-righteousness, having their mind change on something as fundamental as the privacy of a therapy session with a... Is it? Oh, yeah, you're right, Laris. I guess you're right. It's not private. It's not even begrudgingly accepting it, it's just like, oh yeah, I guess you're right, it's not. Well, even if this is a season on, like, mental health, mental disabilities, yada yada, I feel like it should have been more of the focus. I love Q looking at the camera, though. I love that. But yeah, it's just... all this stuff that was kind of supposed to be the core of the series just feels like it was sidelined a bit and not really focused on. For a plot that isn't even, like, the most coherent. I mean, I like Soong's a geneticist, as opposed to a engineer. Then again, if I was an actor, right, and I just, I played an interesting character season 1, then season 2 they had me play the same. If all my scenes were just in casual wear with Brent Spiner, I would not complain. Hey, Alex, what do you think about this guy?
He looks like every generic white guy ever.
That's Data's actor. He's not playing Data.
To be fair, Data looks like every generic white guy ever. Which I suppose is the point of Data.
I was just curious. I mean, Data's also like 40 years younger than this guy, but... if we're saying that the mental health stuff was kind of sidelined, I wonder, Benjenium, if really, like, they had to have these actors because of contract extensions, and so the stuff that they had to give them stole time from, Renee. Because, like, the whole breaking Rios out from ice thing, the whole Rios and ice plot line you could drop, and I don't think anything really changes. Rios can go back to the doctor lady, because Picard needs a doctor. Like, you already established that. It's just time. It's just filler. Or it also gets Rios, Raffi, and Seven out of the picture. Is this a real treaty? Because, like, if it is, I wonder if, like, they wouldn't, like, they don't arrest him or anything. Like, did he break the law, or did he do something else? If it's a fake treaty, you know, they can do whatever the heck they want, but... And here's the phone number. Benjinium, I don't know if you feel like giving this a call. I'm not gonna, but I'm curious if it's still up. Apparently it's like one that Hollywood kind of would recycle through, like different movies could buy it for different things. 323-634-5667. I hope you had that ready. Benjinium, yeah, the whole plot line was useless. One of the things that made me think they were obligated to give everyone roles is the way they tackled on Elnor's role is a hallucination. I thought he was a hologram. I haven't gotten to the end of that bit yet, but yeah, Elnor, even in season 1, Elnor, like, is a one-off, was a good character, but season 1 got rid of him, like, immediately after his main episode, because they didn't need him, and when they brought him back in the end, he didn't do anything. In this one, they, like, kill him off as soon as they get the chance, because they don't need him, and he doesn't do anything. Like, I almost wonder if he was busy. Was he acting in... Well, he wouldn't be in something else, because he wouldn't have known that he'd have to film Picard Season 2. Like, unless there was major rescheduling, or, actually, you know what I could see? I can't remember if he's in Season 3. If he's in Season 3, I could have seen him being a major part, and since they filmed him at the same time, it just meant that it worked out better. That it just let Elnor do Season 3. Maybe that's why Seven and Raffi are off on their own, actually. Like, going after Rios is because Seven and Raffi are both in Season 3. And maybe they have a lot more scenes together, so, like, you could film them simultaneously or, like, in between days with Patrick Stewart and John Delancey. I don't know. I can't wait till Picard's done and, like, kind of in the past, and we have more of this behind-the-scenes information. Because, again, I really want to know, is this what Patrick Stewart wanted, his 3-season thing? Because I feel like Season 3, with having everyone back, wasn't planned. But I can see the themes. Like, Picard wanted to do some mental health thing. He wanted to do something with the Borg and Romulan Season 1, and those thematic things I don't quite remember. So, like, maybe Picard's 3 things were just, like, themes. He didn't have plots, he had themes. But I don't know. Yeah, I think Seven and Raffi are in 3, but no one else is. Yeah, I knew nothing about Elnor. It was the last thing I learned about episodes 9 and 10, was Elnor, because I think my uncle mentioned it, and I was, like, months after it came out, I was like, oh, I thought I knew everything that happened, but I literally didn't even think what happened to Elnor. Now let's just enjoy some John Delancey. listening to John Delancey. He's good in this scene.
I just wanted you to pay attention to me for a second.
After Q. After Q. Okay, why?
I just wanted you to pay attention for me for a second. You don't get to say after this. I wanted it right that second.
I will say, I think Q's good in this scene. You know, this is some old Q. He's got an agenda, which is a little unusual. You know, usually his scenes don't have as much of a purpose, but he's great. I mean, yeah, he is a bit menacing, but he's the most Q, perhaps, in this scene. See, like, I don't know. Now that's what I call an inner conflict. Where's Ukrainian Scrimshaw, all these Doctor Who references? Thinking about it, Renee finds a bacteria. That's the big thing, right? Why doesn't he go and, like, pee in the gene pool or something? This is actually probably one of the harder ways you could go about this. Go find a derelict shuttle or steal it and then, like, fire on the Europa capsule or something. He could be a mechanic instead of the psychiatrist and, like, unplug something on the launch pad. Is it ever mentioned why she doesn't sleep on the La Serena? Like, maybe to get away from the Borg Queen, but their quarters. That feels kind of weird, actually, but maybe there was a reason. I'm watching these like one a day, but you know, we're half paying attention and talking over a lot. I hate when things do that. Like, and she's, you know, manipulative and lying, but it's still like, just no. What about this timeline? The one that this show is set in, where I know where she goes on to do in this season. She is not alone. She's in a cult, but she's not alone. I guess that is literally the pitch she's giving, but... Actually, here's some... Ooh! I don't know what happens to the Borg Queen. There's something about this season I don't know. If she legitimately lives in peace and harmony with the Borg Queen, that's... Ooh. Benjenium, you probably don't want to tell me if she does, because you'll want to see that reaction live, but I don't know what happens to the Borg Queen. Also, yeah, she was pretty far with that shotgun. She definitely shot that French guy. Does happen to the Queen. I'm just kind of wondering, like, huh? She can become one with the Queen, surely. But, like, how does she set up a hive? I don't know what happens to the Queen. Yeah, there we go. She better. Oh, God. Oops. Food color. Look, I understand the use of food coloring, but, like, do you want it in something you're injecting into your body? I get you eat food coloring, but, like, you know, I eat food. I don't inject it into my veins. Yeah, we're gonna look away for, this bit. You know, I'm also realizing that it's not the same, but could she also just, like, go outside in a veil or something? I guess maybe, you know, that shield, whatever, was specifically filtering out UV, like, sure, whatever. And I know he's super overprotective, and he doesn't want her leaving the house because she's a clone, whatever. Okay, no, I'm justifying this to myself. In fact, she was a duck. That's where I got your adrenal glands from. Yeah, I didn't say it, but I was trying to think of, like, a reason they actually needed the Borg Queen, and I'm like, oh, they probably needed her to get home. There's the thing, I don't actually know for a fact how they get home, but it's probably Q magic. Or just, like, I don't know, automatic. Oh, okay, she did shoot him, but the biobed fixed it. And yeah, I think I've talked about this guy missing a spleen, you know. butterflies. But it's not like butterfly effect, because again, this isn't the prime timeline, but... It's like a show that ends in a reset button, but took place in an alternate reality anyway. So 7 could help, like lifting the guy's legs. Then again, is it impossible for him to synthesize that cure, I guess? Because, you know, my brother's a diabetic. He's dependent on a substance that gets manufactured. I mean, you can do it. It's not as good, but you could do it. Actually, here's a character motivation thing. Why does Q need Brent Spiner to do it? Is it because he's the psychiatrist? I mean, can he just shoot, Renee? What's he got to lose? Like, she shows up to a therapy session and he just shoots her in the face. It's not his style? I mean... I don't know. I might be realizing why Q was never really the villain. Because when you make Q the villain, he can just win. Like, he just gets to win. When he's the antagonist, he's not trying to win. He's trying to put people through something. And he's trying to have fun, you know. No, Picard is not unpredictable. He's just a little inconsistent. Not inconsistent. Which is weird. Yeah, that's not really, but whatever. I took a deep dive into primitive computating. It was called my bachelor's in computer science. We're pretty close. Yeah. Oh, there's like there's like quite a bit in this episode yet. I thought it ended before this part. It's like on Jupiter and Mars. I like singing on up along a bit to the songs. I think it'll freak out people that they're just slightly misaligned. Especially because I don't do it perfectly anyway, so like it's always gonna be a bit short or a bit fast, even if you were perfectly in sync. I will say I kind of like this cabin that's like a mix between the touchscreeny and the, you know, old NASA stuff, or even I guess the new current NASA stuff. Then again, when was the last time NASA built a space capsule? Apollo? The shuttle, I guess. When did the song they were playing change? That's not Fly Me to the Moon. It probably did, and I didn't miss it, but that's more I'm technically interested in it. What? Also, it just registered me that you could shoot the Borg Queen with a shotgun. Maybe she's faking it. I mean, then again, you can Tommy gun a drone with holographic bullets. They could do it randomly, and eventually someone from, like, the time police would come and be like, dude, stop. We'll take you home. Just please stop. And there we go. I do believe that's the end of the episode. Yep, there we go. Yeah, if we drop moral objections or even moral critique for a moment, and we drop the greater plot inconsistencies, which I agree, those are like big ifs. I like the pacing of that episode. Like, it's slower, but things were happening. It wasn't slow in like season 3, episode 3, nothing's happening. Or episode 1, I'm just waiting for the village to burn down. It was just taking its time, but progressing. You know, I could sit in each scene. I've just realized it would be a great, like, you know, podcast or review series, whatever, if somehow you could get the me that, like, reacted to these instantly after watching them, and the me right now to discuss these episodes, because I bet if I go to my YouTube video, I was very upset about this. But yeah, the pacing, I mean, if you ignore the greater plot problems, I think the episode was, you know, it was worked. It was pretty good. Like, yeah, the greater plot doesn't, it's not so much that doesn't make sense, and that, like, I can understand what's happening, and I can follow the intent, and there's no part I'm really confused on. It's a lot of, you know, why doesn't Q do this? like, this seems inconsistent with this other thing, or even inconsistent with this other thing in this same plot. So I don't want to say that the plot doesn't make sense. Like, the plot does make sense. It's inconsistent just isn't the word for a lot of things. Like, Q isn't inconsistent. He's just he doesn't seem to be acting in the best way, and I don't feel like it's explained why, at least in the 8 episodes I've seen. I mean, episode 6 tomorrow, where we do at least 1 episode, maybe 2. That's the one that I gave up on, was episode 6. I know I kept going, but it was like 2 very negative reviews in a row was when I was going to stop, and episode 6 was the start of that countdown. Episode 8, I watched, not knowing if I was going to review it or not, and that's when I decided, like, I'll make a video saying that I'm done and why. But episode 6 is where I gave up. So that'll be interesting. I remember it's very hard to watch. But it also has one of the single finest scenes in all of Star Trek in it. So, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, that's one of the better episodes, I think, of Picard. But the amount I'm having to kind of dance around to compliment it a bit. I mean, it's like, those are legitimate. I liked the pacing. But the amount I'm having to, everything I say, I'm having to butt and dance around, like, negatives as large as the overarching plot has a lot of problems and I have moral objections to the show, are big. I mean, I guess I can kind of see why the people would like Picard more if you're someone who doesn't think too much about the plots, which is not to say at all that, like, you're dumb. You, like, just don't think about the complexity of the details. Like, some people do just watch these and turn their brain off, whatever. I've never understood the phrase, like, watching something without thinking about it. Because, like, I don't analyze stuff like I did a lot in this episode, but you have to think about it at least a little to follow what's going... Like, to the extent of, did Picard showed up to talk to the Watcher? Like, you gotta pay attention enough to know that happened. I think someone... Oh, I thought someone started vacuuming. Never mind.
I heard the vacuum too.
The episode's gone. The YouTube video isn't here anymore. But yeah, I think there was something else I've realized after I stopped the stream yesterday I wanted to mention, that this is something I got, again, from that podcast, Fuck Yeah, Doctor Who. If your story can be described or summarized as and then, it's not a good story. The last episode and, like, the last few, in a sense, are very much and then. They went to the past, and then Rios got kidnapped by ICE, and then Seven and Raffi had to save her, and then Picard went to see Guinan, and then Guinan told him to go to the Watcher. It is very much an and then. This episode, I think why I like it more, and it's like, if the overarching problems weren't there, it'd be fine, is that this episode was not and then. We see Renee kind of struggling with her doubts, practicing for the Europa mission, and, we start seeing the fears, the doubt she has, and we go back to Rios. They start kicking off the plot where they had to, spring him from the bus, they had to get him back. Meanwhile, Picard is meeting with the Watcher, and he's also learning about Renee. He's realizing Q's involvement, what's happening. And you see, as I'm describing it, it has to be a lot more detailed. And yeah, I mean, in any summary, I said, like, we saw Renee, and then we saw them bust Rios. But, like, I have to be a lot more detailed, and there's a lot more of meanwhile, and kind of it flows. Picard talked to the Watcher, and he realized what's happening, so then he had to go tell... his crew, and he had to fill all of them. They had to come up with a plan, and now in the next episode, they're executing the plan. Even that very quick summary is there's more flow to it, and you know, it's not just and then and then and then and then. Whereas the past 4 episodes kind of feel like they have to introduce something that like they spend a few minutes on, and then something totally new comes out. I mean, I'm looking at Brent Spiner right now. Like, they're introducing new things, but
Back.
it doesn't feel like an and then Brent Spiner's here. We don't know why he's involved, but we're just seeing Q. We transition to the meanwhile Q's, you know, going on with his plans. You know, we're seeing him doing stuff even though if we don't fully understand why. So I mean, yeah, there's this is a script where like I'm not a writer, but if I got it on my desk, like I know Alex Kurtzman doesn't run it. I don't know who does it. It was like Michael Caban did season 1, I think. I don't know who does season 2. But, you know, if I was, quote-unquote, Alex Kurtzman getting this script, I'd be like, you need to change the fundamental ethical foundation of this script. I'd be like, focus on, you know, what I said, those little people mattering. Which are always great stories. And, you know, just make it, I don't know, flow a bit more, get rid of the and then, and then, and then, and then. But yeah, it's just realizing now the potential for it's the little moments and the average people that bring about Utopia storyline. It's just, I'm so disappointed in what this season could have been. Doctor Who is another one that is very big on that storyline, that theme, particularly in the, like, 9, 10, and 11th Doctors. And there's so many great quotes, like, you know, one of the, if people talk about famous Doctor Who quotes, or their favorites, one that comes up time and time again is, blimey, that's incredible. You know, in 900 years of time and space, I've never met anyone who wasn't important. And, yeah, this could have been it. Even if the plot wasn't as coherent, it's like, you know, at least it's a beautiful story. With Prodigy, like, I've seen better plots. You know, I've seen more gripping stories. I've seen more gripping series. But just the story it tells, it's a beautiful story. It tells it very well. It tells it extremely competently. And I very much enjoy it for that, you know. It's not bad by any means. I very much enjoy Prodigy. But, you know, the point is a beautiful, a great story, especially a little moral one or ethical one, can elevate... you know, can bring your story up, even if its story is not great. You know, that's a nice little idea. You know, you leave thinking, yeah, you know, it is the little moments that are gonna bring about the utopia. And now, when like all the problems seem insurmountable, that's something you can actually do. You can make the little moments happen. You can't like personally solve all the big problems, but you can bring about the little moments. But we're going to talk a lot about that, I believe, the next episode, where this really is going to come to a head, because we start getting... That's when we get the Gerardi Borg plot lines. So, I hope you'll join me, probably 4:30-ish. I don't know, I'll post it up in the morning again, like I did today. For episode 6 watch through, and probably episode 7. I've got to do 2 of them one of these days in order to get to episode 9 on Saturday. But, yeah, it was nice watching this. Thanks for watching. Oh, wait, hang on. Now that I'm streaming daily, I'm remembering the end stream button has a pop-up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.